Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge here on Calmlands. It is now November. We are inching ever so closely to the best time to sell stuff. Canola probably will be the best time to sell today. If it's not today, it'll be close. As you can currently see, we are actually in the process here of finishing up what we started in the last episode by baling everything else we have here. Now, we did gain a couple pallets of salt. One of those specifically was the flour of salt, which as shown in the previous time when we sold that flour of salt, does provide us with a good amount of money. Now, is it the best time to sell it? No. However, it is still a very, very, very good price. It is not the worst price possible. It's somewhere in the middle. So we are going to be selling that pallet today, just to get ourselves a little bit more money, a little bit more income. Feel a little bit better about our current situation, because as you saw in the last episode, we spent a little bit of money on a windrower, and we don't have much money left at all now. Now, by the time we sell that flour of salt, we might be in a good spot there where we can continue to save and hopefully be able to put down one of the many different productions I've been referencing for a little while. But we'll have to see, right? It just depends on how things go here. It may not be this episode. Maybe it be the following episode or whenever it is that we sell the rest of the stuff that we have in our silo. But that's okay. We are on the right track here. We're making good progress. Things are going well. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. We've got to do a second application of fertilizer over in that field right there. I got to remember to slow down a little bit more than what I had been before, because now we do have swaths done, and it is filling up much faster than what we're normally used to here, right? Missed a couple spots already because of that reason, but we'll get it sorted out. No big deal. Hopefully everyone had a very nice Memorial Day. Hopefully you were able to celebrate with family, friends. And again, if you were a member of our military or somebody in your family was, thank you so much for your service. Now, what's going to happen with these bales, more than likely, we might keep one for the sheep, even though we still have 3 over there. I'll take a look and see how they're doing as far as the capacity of each of those bales that are over there for the sheep. But we might end up keeping one to the side for them. But everything else is going to go into our silage pole. This is going to turn into silage. Now, obviously, it's not going to be ready until the next episode, but that's okay. Now, as far as what else we're going to do today, well, we also need to mow the rest of this grass here. So we've got the grass kind of in a, even though it's technically one field, we kind of have it growing in different stages now for a little while, which is good, right? What we currently have to utilize to mow and everything is, it's not a very big production here. So having this kind of separated into different parts is probably smart. Depending on what kind of money we have, I don't think we're going to be quite there to be able to put down any of the productions I want to put down yet. We might be close. We'll have to take a look and see how things go. But if we are close and we are able to do it in this episode, which, like I just mentioned, I don't expect to be able to do so. But if we are going to mow up all that weeded grass over there first, just to make sure we gain, you know, as much extra profit out of it as we can before we take away some of that area for a production of some sort. We will see. I do not think we're going to be there, but we will see. Really depends on what we get out of the salt and what we get out of the canola, because the canola also, as mentioned, should be good to sell today. So while we're in here real quick, let's just take a look. So the fine salt, $2,140. That's not bad. It's really not. It's a couple $100 off what the average best price is, but it's going to continue to drop. Like this one in December are really the last months that we probably are going to be able to sell the fine salt for a while. So I figure we go ahead and do it. The flour of salt, similar situation here, 24,532. It's at 22,792 right now, which again, it's not perfect. It's not great, but it's much better than what the lowest price is, and it's only going to continue to drop, and I would like to have that money right now so we can try to continue to progress here a little bit more, right? Now, as far as crops go, we're really, really close here. Really close. The wheat is really close. I'm not sure if we'll sell it today or not, but the wheat is close. The canola should be best now, and it is. 1,085 at the farmer's market, 1,070 at our little market. And then this is close as well, the barley. So we can sell it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, if we need it. If it'll get us to be able to put down one of the productions I want, we will certainly do so. If we're going to be a little bit off, because we can do a little, just some basic math here and figure it out ourselves, right? But if we're going to be a little bit off, then we probably will hold on to the wheat, the barley, all that stuff until the next episode or the following episode, whenever it is best to sell them. So it's going to be a very, very productive day today. Very productive day. We'll do a little grass work here. Obviously, we're doing some already, but we'll do a little bit more grass work. Do the second application of fertilizer on that field over there. Interested to see what kind of a yield bonus we're going to get when we do that second application of fertilizer on there. I'm hoping it's 98, 99%. It should be close to it if it's not. Also can take a look at, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom here, but we can take a look at the wool. We looked at that in the last episode, I think, but, whoops, a little bit too far there. Go ahead and pick this up. Let's reset this for a minute. I was hoping we were going to be able to get a little bit further than that, but these swaths that we made are quite large, and the baler that we have right now that we're utilizing is actually not that big of a baler. It fills up pretty quickly. Okay, so the wool is, yeah, about as bad as it can possibly be. For some reason, I thought it was better than that. It must have been the eggs. It was the eggs, wasn't it? It was the eggs. Yep. Oh, well. Alright, so I'm going to try to pick up a little bit of this excess stuff here that we kind of missed, either with the windrowing or with the baling itself, whatever it may have been. Just pick that up. We got quite a few bales off of this, as you can tell. This is, as many of people have mentioned, and I took a little bit longer to get to this point. My goal was to get to this point, but until, we had some of the other fields ready, I was really just figuring I might as well utilize the weeded grass field, the free grass, just save ourselves a little bit of money. But we are getting a lot of bales off this small little section that we mowed here, so that's good, man. That means we're going to produce a lot of silage out of this. A lot of silage. Which is what we want. Now, straw. I don't think straw is good either. We've got some straw in our little pole there, though, that we can also sell today. Still, I'm still... I don't think Giants will ever watch my video, but I'm still preaching. I want you to allow me to do a favorite so I can put stuff at the very, very top so I don't have to scroll so far. It cannot be that hard to do that. Come on, Giants. Give me what I want. It's technically going to be best in the next month, but we're only a couple dollars off here, so we're probably going to sell the straw today too. It's going to be a big day of selling stuff, making a lot of money, man. That's good. That's what I like to see. That's a lot of bales, man. That is a lot of bales. Might turn on the little menu there to see if we can figure out exactly how many bales we have here, because that is a lot of bales, and we're not even done yet. Trying to clean up some of this area here. There's a lot of sections that have been little splotched sections that have been missed with with picking up grass and stuff, right? Now, I believe there's a little bit of a tiny little windrow here, or maybe it was just an area that was just completely missed right up here. Here it is, just coming up. Ooh, let's get this first. Now, quickly, there have been there are so many people doing this series now. It's way more than what I have down below. I know a couple people don't want me to put them in there. They don't want to be tagged for whatever reason. But thank you for those of you who have continued to want to do this challenge. It's been a lot of fun. I'm having a hard time keeping up with everyone, though. There's a lot of stuff going on for me just personally with work and everything else, so I have not been able to watch everyone's yet. I apologize. I will try to get to it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch every single person. There are so many people doing this now, but I'm going to at least try to watch an episode from you every once in a while. Certainly watch the first one and then try to watch some from time to time whenever I can. But there are a lot of people doing this challenge. It's awesome. Love to see it. It keeps me excited and motivated to keep going, right? Well, I've already got my wheels spinning, and we're not even close to it, but I've already got my wheels spinning for, another one of these in the future, right? Make some further modifications to some of the rules and etc. But still basically keep the same premise on a different map. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. All right, we are done for now. I'm actually not going to put this away because I have a feeling we're going to be utilizing this more today. Now, another quick note. We are going to have to put a second application of fertilizer down on this grass field here as well, which we did not do in the last episode, but we can do it now. Not a big deal. It does say it needs lime. I should really have done that in the last episode too, but that's okay. This is currently at 75%. So when we put some fertilizer down, that's vastly going to change as well. We are going to have to get the fertilizer that is in the drill here out to utilize that. I don't remember how much is in here. That should be enough. Should be. I'm going to leave it there for right now. We'll fill it back up a little bit later. I just don't want to accidentally say, okay, go ahead and start filling it up, and then it fills up the seeds first. Because that would happen. That's happened to me before, and it would happen. So as soon as we're done fertilizing these fields, which we might need more fertilizer now that I think about it, the grass field that we mowed is relatively a decent size. We might need more. I guess we'll find out here, won't we? But when we're done with that, we'll sell the salt, and then probably sell the canola. See where you are as far as the money goes, and make a decision on if we want to continue selling stuff and maybe get a production. But it's really just going to depend on the money we get out of the bulk of that, if we can get there or not. And I'm not sure we will. Okay, we are underway. There should only be a couple passes here, and we should be done. Well, I was running into some issues again here with this thing. I finally got it. Finally got the location here. We're going to sell the straw. It's going to take us a while to sell the straw. We had a lot of straw in there. A lot of straw. 71,000 liters to be exact. I wonder if I can I just sell it outright? I can sell it outright. Okay. All right, well, let's just do it that way then. Let's just sell it outright. That way I don't have to sit there and continue to make trips back and forth and back and forth. That would be less than ideal. Might not make us as much money overall, but, I mean, it's straw, so it's not like we're making a ton of money as it is anyway off of this. So we'll just do that, so when 11 o'clock hits, we'll make some money from the straws, too. We should have a relatively basic idea here just by selling it here, what we're going to make from this. Okay, so $500 for about 8,000 liters. That's not bad. All right, so now that we know that, we'll leave that on to selling there, and at 10 from 11 o'clock here in 30 minutes, it'll sell, and we'll know exactly how much we got from the straw itself. Now, I probably shouldn't have done what I just did, actually. I need a counterweight, and I wasn't even thinking about the counterweight. Last time we tried to do this, it was a mess. So let's keep that trailer on here. We'll get the salt. Still spinning a little bit, but overall this is going to work. All right, we'll go sell this. Now, I think it had a couple other places we could potentially sell this. It would make us a little bit more money. I don't know if it's worth driving that far. That's kind of the reason why we put that down in the first place, right? Was the distance it would require for some of those to go sell. So it's about $500 more for the flour salt at the farmer's market, and it's about, well, $100 really. 140. It's actually better, I'm sorry, for the little farmer market is better for the fine salt, but the flour salt is slightly better at the elsewhere. It's $500 basically. We'll just sell them both here. I mean, the other one, it's the one that's really, really far, way, way, way over there. That's a lot of wear and tear, a lot of gas, everything else. I'll suffer with a couple $100 less on the flour salt by selling it here. Whoops. Always go a little bit too far here. That's fantastic. I like to see that. It's a good amount of money right there, gang. Okay, we're up to 30 grand. And let's sell the canola, because we do know the canola is best right now. I guess maybe that's what I should have looked at, was the canola, where the best place to sell the canola is. It was technically the farmer's market as well, but again, it's not that big of a difference. Yeah, it's not a big difference at all. I'm not concerned about a $100 difference. I guess that's what we could have did, though, is we could have stacked both of those pallets here and took them to the other farmer's market and put the canola in the back of here and went and sold it all in one fell swoop, and that might have been a little bit better. We do have one pallet of wool now. That's good. Okay, so we want the canola. And then the barley is close, but it's not quite there. Grain silos are not that far away, and it's a little bit more, so we'd probably go to the grain silos for that. The wheat, probably a similar situation. Yeah, similar. Not really that big of a difference, but similar. So we'll sell the canola first. We'll see where we get to as far as the money goes, and I'll take a look at the production itself and see if this is going to make sense or not. It's the most money we've had in our accounts yet, besides what we gained with, obviously, but that was obviously all gone very quickly. All right, let's see here. $8,654. It's not bad. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, actually. But that's not bad. So when 11 o'clock hits, we'll be over 40 grand for sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to unhook this for now. For the meantime, let's go ahead and pick up all these bales and take them and go ahead and deposit them into our our pole so we can start turning this into silage, so they'll be ready for the next episode. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I'm going to need something on the back here, aren't I? I thought normally I could pick these two up without having anything on the back. I swear I was able to do it before without really any major issues. Swear it was. Now, one thing we might want to consider doing with some of this extra money that we got. So I talked about this before, right? We were utilizing the silage where you get, was it this one? Yeah, the silage additives. It didn't seem to make that big of a difference when we were just mowing the regular grass, but it might matter for when we have our own grass. It might matter then. I don't know what to do. It's not going to be cheap to buy the silage additive. Silage additive is how much? How much is silage additive? I forget now. Consumables, $3,000. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off this time. Maybe moving forward we'll do it again. But for now I'm gonna hold off because we're wanting to potentially. Okay, 11 o'clock hit. We're almost, well, almost. We're just over $42,000, so that's good. But we really we want to save that money to potentially put it in production down, right? I mean, we're pretty close actually where we could. I talked about this already once before, but we're actually pretty close where maybe we even, maybe we do the road salt production. That was like $50,000, I think, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was $50,000. I'm gonna have to look into that. The road salt might be the way to go. Because we have all of that coarse salt, which we sell, and it's not really the greatest, right? We're not making a ton of money off of that. That might be the way to go. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. I'm going to find something here. And by find something, I mean I'm going to connect something here real quick as a counterweight, since I'm having so many issues here. I mean, all the other ones, I swear I was able to go around no problem. It's weird. Okay, well, you've seen me do this a bunch of times, so I'm going to go through here, pick all these up, and deposit them into the pole. And, yeah, be back with you when we're done. All right, these are the last two here, gang, and we'll go put these in there so long as the sheep still have enough. I would suspect that they do, because the 3 bales are still there. I got to imagine one of those bales is near and makes no difference, empty. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's been taking them slowly from each one of them. 1,725, 2,981, 90. Okay. That one's almost gone. But these two, there's still plenty here. We're going to have grass ready to mow again before these are even going to be gone. So yeah, we'll stick these in here. We'll make it all silage. So that's going to be a nice little payday for us. 61,817 in there. Already made a little bit over 1,000. So yeah, that'll be a really nice payday when the time comes for that one. So I'm going to turn around and drop this off real quick. So we're at 42,000. I'm going to go off camera for a minute here. I'm going to take a peek at the road salt production, since I was not actually expecting us to be able to get to that point today, but we have a good chance to do so. If we sell the other crops, we probably can get there. Let me do a little research here. Okay, so I did some research into the road salt, gang, and we don't have enough money for it. So it was 50 grand, which, fine, we kind of knew that, right? But for us to actually be able to sell it, it cannot sell at our current selling point. You have to have a separate road salt sell point, really, for it to be able to work. Now, you might be able to get away with some of the other, sell everything, grates or whatever you want to call it. I'm not really in the mood to do that. I don't think that is realistic at all. I understand that some of the things we have here are not realistic either, but just sitting a grate on the ground to me is very unrealistic. Now, I guess I could go the approach of I could spruce it up a little bit, put some other building down, and put it next to it and call it that. But I kind of like what we have right now. I like that little farmer's market on our farm here. So due to that, we're not going to be doing that one. So that's out, for at least for a little while. We're going to be doing it eventually, I should say it that way. But for the time being, the road salt production is out. However, there are two other things that I want to put down on the farm at some point. I'm not going to tell you specifically what those are, but there are. Plan A of that, we don't have enough money for either. Oop, I just kind of drove slightly over that crop, but good thing it was the tiny wheel, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So we don't have a whole lot for that one, so that's out. Plan B, though, Plan B can work and is going to work, and we are going to do Plan B right now. But to do that, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to mow up this grass. And having said everything and how long it's going to take us to do this, because I did run a little test on it, I'm not sure we're actually even going to get that field up there mowed today. We might not have enough time for it. We'll have to see. But my thinking is we're not going to have enough time for it, and it'll all make sense here very, very soon. Just trust me. First things first, though, we need to get this area mowed. Obviously, I mentioned I don't really want to place this down because it is going to remove all of the grass here. Now, it's not a ton of grass, but we can get a couple more bales out of this for sure. So I'd like to, get as much money as we can out of this before we take it away. So that's what we're going to do here. So it's going to take me a minute here to get the rest of this mowed up. I probably mowed a little bit further than I actually have to do. And, based off the size here, you might have an idea of what it is. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Either way, I think it's going to be, people are going to be interested in it. Now, I do know, and I apologize, I forget who it was. If you're watching this, comment down below so I can make sure I give you credit. But the idea itself did not come from this individual, but this individual told me that they have incorporated this into their one-tile challenge. I have yet to watch that episode, so I'm not positive where and how they did it. Even if they might not even be recording, it might just be somebody who's taking part in the challenge and not recording. I'm not positive. Either way, though, this was something that was on my radar before they even told me that. I may have hinted at it a couple of times already. I don't know. During the process here, but there are a number of things that I want to incorporate on this farm, and we're going to do Plan B today. Some of these other ones that I was wanting to incorporate, I started looking at them a little bit closer. They're taking up a lot of space, which is really not the most ideal situation for us, right? We don't have a whole lot of space to give up. We really need all the space we can here. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, this is going to be exciting, man. I can't wait to get this down there. We're not going to really be able to probably produce enough today to actually see what it is, but you'll at least get the feeling for it. We'll get it started. We'll get it all set up and ready to go. I'm going to do one more pass here, I think. Give myself a little bit more room here. All right, we got it all mowed up. I've got it all windrowed up. We just need to go ahead and bale all this up and then move the bales out of the way. We're definitely not going to be able to get that field done today, but that's okay. We're going to be doing nothing for the most part but grass work for a little while anyway, right? So that's okay. Any ideas yet what we're going to be putting in here? At least the area of what it looks like should be relatively straightforward. It should be pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how many bales we're going to get out of this small little field here. Again, this is not, this is just weeded up grass, right? So we're not going to get as many as we were just a little bit ago. Certainly. Anybody watch the Indy 500? I did. I made a couple of bets, just small, $15 in bets, just nothing major, the little dollar bets here and there. I had some credits from some other small bets that I had won. And, yeah, lost all $15 of that, unfortunately. Didn't win any of my bets. I had people out before the race even started. I had McLaughlin for not a parlay, a trifecta box. And he was out before the race even started. He was warming his tires up and ran right into the wall. It was not cold, at least not to me, but for a race, it was a relatively cold day, so the track wasn't as warm as it normally would be, so I would assume a lot of that with the tires and the, losing traction and brakes were locking up and things like that, where a lot of that was due to the fact that it was only like low 60s for most of the day. Which, again, that's a perfect day to go out and watch a race. You're not burning up hot all day, but as far as the actual race conditions on the track, it's really not that great. A little cold. Hard to keep the tires warm in that kind of condition. So we've got 3 bales already. We've got a couple more passes to do here. I would say we're probably looking more along the 5 or 6 bale perspective here, which, honestly, given the fact that it's just weeded grass, I think that's pretty good. I think that's really good, actually. All right, we ended up with 5 bales, almost 6 bales, 75% in the baler here. That can stay in there until the next time, no big deal. It's hard to break, hard to stop, just like it was for, I'm sure, those guys in the track yesterday, but it's hard to stop the tractor here. It is just flying past. All right, that is done. Can probably go ahead and fill this thing up too while we're here. We've got this net here where there might still be some in there, actually, now that I'm seeing how much is actually there. Yeah, there's still going to be 2 there. That's fine. All right, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I'm just going to push this out of the way real quick, and then we'll get started in this section. Now, what are we going to do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a rice field. Now, you might be like, well, that's not that exciting. You're right, it isn't. But that's only step 1. There is a secondary step to this rice field. And I will show you that once we get this all set. Now, I want this to be... I want it to be relatively close. And there's really not... I don't have like anything to kind of tell me where I'm at here. So I kind of have to test it out here. That'll work. All right, now I want to go kind of... I kind of want to match up with this field back here a little bit. It may not be perfect, but I kind of want to keep it relatively to that distance here. That's about right. All right, and then we want this one to kind of go out towards where the end of the sheep is here. There we go. That's good for me. So let's go ahead. I'm going to lower this down. I actually like it lowered into the ground a little bit more. Reason for that is I'd rather it be dropping down versus up in the air. I just don't think that looks as good. So let's go ahead and place this down here. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Okay. It should be good. Yeah, it drops down a little bit here. Not bad. It's a little bit of a different elevation here all the way around, but for the most part, this should be fine. We should have room still to make this track go through here without harming that. Yep, we're good there. Okay, good. Now, so that's that, right? So this is all done. This is nice, and there's a bit of a hill here, but for the most part, it's fine, right? It's not a big deal. We're not going to really be putting anything up against the edge of this, or will we? So there's that, right? So that's going to be obviously some kind of a rice field. That's step 1. Step 2 is we're going to put something else down with it. It's all the way down here at the bottom somewhere. We're going to become a crawfish farmer. So what this basically means is I can sit this up here next to the actual rice field, and we're also going to produce crawfish. So the crawfish will be swimming around underneath the rice, and yeah, it'll be relatively nice, right? I just don't know exactly where I want to put this at. All right, we want to make sure there's enough room for us to be able to get in there and drop off and obviously pick up pallets. Might be a little bit too close here to the track here for it to put it here, I think. So, really, we're probably going to put it over here, or I guess it could be over here. Or, depending on the situation, I guess you could put it over on this side, but that gets a little bit too close, I think, to this track we're planning on putting down here. So, yeah, it's going to be over here. This does not give us a ton of room here to kind of maneuver our trailer. I didn't really think about that. I probably should have thought about that. Let me go put this away here. I may go pick up the trailer and see how bad it's going to be. I mean, I can obviously just back the trailer in there, but maybe I should have gave myself a little bit more room than I did. All right, let's just leave this here for right now, just temporarily. Let's hook up to the trailer here and make sure that there's enough room there. I might have made a bit of a mistake there. Although, we really don't have that much room to work with anyway, right? So we kind of have to deal with what we can. Now, if I took off the front forks here, I'd probably have a little bit more room here to maneuver. But I don't think there's enough room for me to do a turn here. There's not. Whoop, I just drilled the wool. Fantastic. Good job there, Z. Bear with me for a minute here. I'm going to move these out. Okay, so that means I'm just going to have to back the trailer in, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. I think I can maneuver the trailer in there by backing it up. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem. Now, if I get another trailer, I'm just going to have to make sure it's not like an articulate type of trailer. It's going to have to be one like this, where I can actually maneuver it, where I can actually back it up, right? If it's one where you can't back it up, then we're in trouble. Alright, so let's just put that there for right now. We'll turn it off and everything. Alright, so let's figure out where we're going to put this thing at then. Yeah, I think here's the place to put it, honestly. It's close to it. It's near the edge. It should work. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Well, maybe it doesn't. Ooh. That's a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. Ooh. I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that. Can I fix that now, or am I already kind of screwed myself here? I think we fixed it. Yeah, I just got to repaint it, but I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not exactly how I anticipated that to actually work. That was a bit of a mistake on me, I guess. Is this the right one? Yeah, I think so. Alright, that'll work. That'll work. It's not too bad. That's fine. Okay, so there's our crawfish production. Now, to run this crawfish, what do we have to do? Well, let me show you. Get out of the quick autosave here. We've got to buy some stuff here. So, to run this crawfish production, we need crawfish brood stock, right? And it's kind of a gimmick here a little bit, right? It doesn't produce, it's not very fast production, right? Obviously, 48 cycles per month. We're not going to be producing a ton of crawfish, but it is an extra income that we can get based off of this. Now, technically, I think you can run this without having any water in here. I don't think that's very realistic to do that, but technically you can do that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to head on up to the shop, and we're going to grab some of those pallets. Now, the pallets themselves, they're not very expensive. They don't cost a ton of money. Let me find them here. $500, right? Now, I think it holds 4 or 5. I'm just going to grab 4 for right now. It might be difficult for me to bring all 4 back, but I'm going to grab 4 for right now. So $2 grand. We'll put it in the actual production itself, and we'll see how fast it chews through them. I would expect doesn't chew through it very fast, but I guess we'll find out. All right, while we're here, I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting these to maneuver how I want them to. They spawn to them really far apart from each other. I think this is going to work, though, as long as I line this up properly here. Might not be perfect, but we really don't need it to be perfect. We just need to be able to get it back to the farm and drop them off at our crawfish production, right? Actually, the forks are sticking out far enough. I might be able to get these just if I sit them on the ground. Let me try that. That's probably an easier approach than what I was planning on doing. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. As long as they don't fall off, that'll work. Should be okay, I think. I hope. Awesome. So 4,000 crawfish brood stock, which is going to produce us with regular crawfish over time. Now, what I'm going to end up doing, obviously, we cannot put any long grain rice in there right now. We will be putting that in there soon enough with our drill. But right now, obviously, we can't do it because it's not a time period for us to actually plant long grain rice. It's actually one tiny little window in April, so we've got to wait till April before we can really put anything in that area, which is another reason why I wanted to mow it, because I knew it was going to be a wasted piece of space for a while. But at least we have this crawfish production, which means that we should, in theory, still be able to make some money off this area, although a smaller amount, until we're able to put the long grain rice in there, right? I can probably flood the field right now, which will allow us to do this. At least I hope that's the case. If not, I put something down that really we can't do anything with for a while. Now, I think it goes here, right? Did I look at that? Did I set it up properly? Yeah, it should be here. Okay, so why is it not accepting those then? Alright, let me put this away really quick, or at least get it out of the way, one way or another. I don't think I need it anymore. I can pick those up one at a time to make sure they go in there. Whoa! What is happening here? Whoa. What? What? Why did that just happen? What was that? Why are we not accepting these in there? I can't pick these up by hand either, so I can't even, like, try to slightly cheat it. Oh boy, we're having issues already with this thing. So let's turn it on, first of all. We got at least 1,000 in there. I gotta figure out why this is not accepting the rest of these, though. I might need to maneuver some of the land a little bit more, maybe? I just accepted that one. Maybe I put it a little bit too close. Alright, well, they're going in there now, I guess. Why is this one not being accepted? There we go. Okay, finally. Goodness, it took forever to get that in there. We got it in there. Let's see if we can flood this thing. I don't know if it'll let us do it without a crop in there. I haven't tried this yet. Okay, it will. Well, we'll flood it. Good. Then we have a legitimate crawfish production now happening. It's exciting, man. We're going to be able to put some long grain rice in there, which will, for the most part, produce a pretty good amount of money for us. Obviously, it's a small section here, but it will still produce some money. And, yeah. We're continuing our progress here, gang. We're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. All that stuff helps me a ton, and it's completely free for you to do so. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.